Creating a habit is not difficult. Anyone can start something new for a few days. The problem was never starting. The problem has always been continuing. And this is exactly where most people fail. They begin with force, with motivation, with energy, with excitement. But after a few days, everything fades. The habit weakens, collapses, disappears. Then comes the feeling, I wasn't born for this. I don't have discipline. I can't maintain anything in my life. But none of this is true. You don't fail because you're weak. You fail because you're trying to build habits the wrong way. Habit is not strength. Habit is not motivation. Habit is not excitement. Habit is structure. It is intelligent repetition. It is behavioral engineering. And when you understand how the brain actually works, you realize that long-lasting habits aren't built through extreme effort. They're built through strategy. Today, you're going to learn exactly how to build habits that last. Habits that stay alive even on your worst days. Habits that don't depend on motivation. Habits that survive without needing infinite willpower. Because the truth is simple. Either you master how habits work or habits master you. Pillar 1. Starting small is more important than starting motivated. The biggest mistake people make when trying to create a habit is starting too big. Someone decides they will train for an hour a day, read 50 pages, study 3 hours, wake up at 5, change everything at once. And this works for 2 or 3 days until the energy collapses, the motivation drops, and everything falls apart. The human mind was not built for radical change. It rejects what demands too much effort up front. A habit only becomes long-lasting when it starts small, ridiculously small. Small enough to be impossible to fail. 5 minutes, 1 page, 1 stretch, 1 tiny step. Not because this will transform your life immediately, but because it creates continuity. Continuity is the mother of habits. Intensity is the mother of failure. If you want a habit that lasts, start so small it feels almost embarrassing. Pillar 2. The trigger is more important than the action. People think the secret of a habit is in the action. It's not. It's in the trigger, the moment that happens right before the behavior. Every habit exists because there is a trigger that activates it. It can be a time of day, a place, an object, an emotional state, a specific routine. For example, sit at the desk, study, arrive home, clean 1 spot, drink coffee, read 1 page, put on your shoes, walk for 5 minutes. When the trigger is solid, the habit becomes automatic. Most people fail because they focus on the action without establishing a trigger. They try to act through willpower instead of predictability. The brain loves patterns. It needs to know what comes before so it can repeat what comes after. If you want a habit that lasts, stop trying to remember. Create triggers that make the habit inevitable. Pillar 3. The reward must be emotional, not logical. Another common mistake, using rewards the brain doesn't care about. You finish a workout and say, I'm proud. But deep down, you're not feeling anything. You read 5 pages and say, this is good for me. But the brain doesn't register any immediate benefit. For a habit to last, the reward must be emotional, not rational. It must create a sensation, not an argument. For example, finishing a workout and taking a hot shower. Reading 1 page and listening to a song you love for 1 minute. Doing an important task and allowing yourself 5 minutes of real relaxation. Pillar 4. Identity is more important than routine. Most people try to create habits by changing their routines. But routines don't sustain habits. Identity does. You may act correctly for a while, but if you still believe you're undisciplined, lazy, messy, or inconsistent, your mind will sabotage your progress. Lasting habits are born when you change the way you see yourself. You stop thinking, I want the habit of reading, and start thinking, I'm the kind of person who reads every day. You stop thinking, I want to work out 3 times a week, and start thinking, I'm the kind of person who trains. When identity changes, the habit is no longer an effort. It becomes a natural consequence. Identity creates consistency. Consistency creates habit. Habit creates transformation. Pillar 5. Imperfect consistency beats perfect interruption. This is where 90% of people fail. They want to do things perfectly, and when they can't, they stop. The day wasn't perfect, so they don't study. The workout doesn't fit fully, so they skip it. The mood isn't right, so they don't begin. This destroys every chance of building a real habit. A lasting habit is not built through perfection. It is built through presence. Being there even doing little. Maintaining the rhythm even without energy. Doing the minimum even when the maximum isn't possible. Imperfect consistency transforms more than temporary intensity. If you maintain a habit on your difficult days, it will never abandon you. Creating a habit that truly lasts is not a challenge of strength, motivation, or luck. It is a challenge of strategy. Start small. Create triggers. Use emotional rewards. Shift your identity. Accept imperfection. When you do this, the habit stops being something you're trying to build. It becomes part of who you are. And when a habit becomes part of your identity, it doesn't break, it grows. Start with one tiny habit today. Repeat tomorrow. Repeat on the bad day. Repeat on the tired day. The small becomes big. The simple becomes powerful. And the habit becomes you.